Hey everyone, I'm Sonja and this is Holiness Connection. Today I want to introduce some of my thoughts for Deep Calling Deep, a series on this channel that will explore how we can connect with others in our world. So I recently watched the film Mission Joy about the friendship between Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa and the Dalai Lama. That was part of an event called the Global Joy Summit. So I watched that film and then some other events as well that were part of the summit. The friendship between these two men was amazing. They didn't actually see each other all that often. They were of different religious traditions, but they just had that kind of friendship where they could pick it up again, across a lot of time that had passed. They teased each other. They were just able to connect in this really natural and deep way. And it reminds me of a scriptural passage from Psalm 42, which I'll read to you. It is, "Deep calls to deep in the roar of your waterfalls. All your waves and breakers have swept over me." That quote's more directly about seeking God in times of trouble, but the deep calling to deep aspect has always struck me as such a beautiful and profound metaphor for all connection. A quote from that Mission Joy film from Archbishop Desmond Tutu was, "A person is not a person without other persons. We are part of this delicate network." And that's also what I'm going towards here, that we're all connected and part of a delicate network. And exploring this is one of the intentions that I have for my content, that we can explore how to connect and be with each other more deeply. We need it and our world needs it. So in some of the other Global Joy Summit events, there were psychological researchers who looked at emotions and also how we connect with each other socially. In one talk, pro-sociality came up, which is our intent as individuals to benefit others or society. They talked about a study with babies that, contrary to the commonly held thought that we are born selfish and that society's rules sort of temper that and are what make us more social, they found that when babies were first able to show what their motivations were and show an active volition, they actually went towards kindness immediately. It was also shown that people's first impulse when they had a decision that might lead them towards kindness or more selfishness, if they didn't have a chance to think, that also went towards kindness when they hadn't had a chance to think first and they had to make a quick snap decision. The researchers talked about it as we grow older, that we become in a lot of ways wiser because we have interactions that are more negative sometimes with people and we become more self-protective. And so that can be a good thing a lot of times, but it can be difficult to remember that natural pro-social impulse because we also have as humans a skew towards seeing the negative and seeing things that might be a threat over the things that are more like the kindness and that other kind of prosociality. So we're going to see more of that. And I want to quote from one of the researchers, Jamil Zaki, about that. It's kind of a long quote, so I'm going to read this one too. He says, "In our modern world, we are going to continue to be bombarded with information that raises our sense of threat and reduces our feeling that we're capable of being there for other people, because it makes us feel that we can barely be there for ourselves, and it shows us the side of people that scares us the most. You're going to hear more stories about selfishness than selflessness, about cruelty than kindness. The question is whether you want to believe what you're hearing or whether you want to look a little more for yourself. It's important to realize that the information we're hearing is skewed systematically, to remain skeptical. What evidence do you have for that in your life? And what evidence do you have of the opposite?" And so that's the question I want to leave with you here today to think about, to ponder, and to consider in your own life. I would love it if you have any thoughts, questions, responses to that you'd like to leave in the comments. And I'll see you next time.